Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house build video. Today is part 2 of Lady Big Wallet's dream home. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure to click the link in the description down below or possibly an annotation on screen somewhere. Otherwise, this is kind of just jumping into the middle of this. So last part, I asked for your feedback and there was a bunch of great suggestions, namely that there was no door to that balcony that I just put a door on, so put a door to it, and that one up the top as well. There's doors to balconies. That's a very handy suggestion. Also, to put in fireplaces. I knew originally that I didn't put in fireplaces, and I wasn't like I was like I should probably put some in, but I didn't want to because I didn't think there'd be enough room. But then I found room, so we end up with about 2 fireplaces. Well, not about. We do end up with 2 fireplaces in the house. So it works out quite nicely in the end. Yeah, so we're going around furnishing the top levels today. Now this, I know, like, so this, first of all, yeah, there's also a download link to the house in the description down below. So you can go click that link, download the house, put it in your game, and play with it as well. Now, but this is by no means the final product. And what I mean by that is because we're going to be starting a Let's Play in this house, we're definitely going to be changing things over time and as we play. So, I mean, like I said in part 1, there's no paintings or decorations on any of the walls. So it kind of looks a little bit bland at the moment when you look at some screenshots on the interior, just because there's no decorative items on the wall. But as I mentioned, we're going to be getting her to paint and put up her own custom paintings. So over time, it will get a lot more full and tons of paintings in there. I think it's going to look really, really cool. So there's that to note. And also the house that the lot I built this on is actually quite small. I think it's a 30 by 20. I wanted to do this giant extravagant garden with like a swimming pool, like because people first of all wanted to see a swimming pool, an extravagant garden because it's a Victorian home, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to do it, but there was just not enough room on this plot of land. We will definitely move the house at some point to a larger plot. Not just yet. We'll move her into this house and this location. And we'll live out her life, start her off, well, not really start her off, continue her life from this house. And as she gains wisdom, she'll somehow invent a technology to be able to move her house to another plot of land. And we'll make it a bit bigger in the future. I have some pretty cool ideas of what I want to do. I think it'd be really cool to chuck it on like a 50 by 50 and just start tacking on new bits. So it sort of just gets this really kind of cool. It will end up kind of like a little bit pokey and a little bit kind of weird, just adding on bits and pieces to the house, but I think it could be really cool, and I think it will add a lot of character to the build, like once we're finally done at some point at the end of the series, or just when we're done with the house and we want to move. I think it should have a lot of character to it, sort of doing that and renovating it and just chucking on new bits here and there. I think it'll be a lot of fun as well to sort of do that. I'm thinking when we do sort of big renovations like that, I will do these sort of separate build videos, so it won't be a part of the series. So we won't be spending like 50 minutes just adding on a new room or something, because it probably will take that long for me to do. But yeah, so we'll kind of do like build videos like this down the line. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be really, really cool. Also, if I sound a little bit different, it's because my nose is currently blocked. So in case you were wondering, that's why. Now, I noticed this, it really bothered me. Those chandeliers that I'm putting around the place, they don't look like they're hanging so low. But when you get out the camera and start taking pictures at a lower angle, you notice that they are hanging really, really low. Like so low that if you're walking in that room, you would hit your head on that chandelier. And it really bothered me. I mean, I could just raise the wall height. I didn't want to do it just yet because it would have required a lot of reworking, or not really a lot of reworking, but it might not have looked quite right. But it's something to keep in mind in the future. We might end up changing the wall height, go to like medium height walls. So we'll get higher ceilings and that kind of stuff, which again, would definitely fit the style of the home and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, we're about like 4.5 minutes in. I haven't even been speaking about what we're doing. So we are working on the master bedroom, or Lady Big Wallet's room. You notice I did it like a walk-in robe area, because I thought that would be a little bit classy. You know, this is her house, and she wants something that's fancy. I did actually want to do a walk-in robe where you walk through the wardrobe and then into the ensuite, so you'd go through that. But the sort of the room shape and layout didn't really count for that. There wasn't really enough room to do that. And now people did point out that the curtains that I'm using in this house, and I'm still using them up here, aren't particularly sort of that fancy, but you may have noticed before I was looking around. Actually, no, I don't know if I've done it yet, but I go through all the curtains. There's no curtains that sort of fit those windows that, first of all, have the right colors, or, well, have the right colors, look fancy, and fit the windows. There's no curtain that does all those three things, which is really, really frustrating. And the curtains I'm using do fit, and it's not really the right color, but it's just a plain color that will go with anything. Well, it's no color, really. That goes with anything. So I kind of have to use those, or just not do any curtains. And what I did instead, I just opted to use those curtains in rooms I felt required them, such as the changing room, the walk-in robe, and the bathroom. And most of the other rooms don't end up having curtains. But here we go. I did get a piano room in. We got a nice big grand piano, a giant fireplace in this room. This is kind of like the parlor kind of room. You know, you got the piano. We're getting a chess table in there, beautiful big fireplace, all that kind of stuff. Just go in there, have a little bit of skill building activities. I think it'll be fun to get a sort of get a creative skill up, or not creative, get a piano skill up, that kind of stuff. It could be quite fun. So I thought we could do that. Of course, I mean, all these rooms are definitely destined to change at some point. You know, like when she has kids or when we renovate the house, things are going to change. Of course, your comments and suggestions will definitely change things as well. Like I was really, really happy how sort of enthusiastic you guys were in the previous part. There were so many comments and so many fantastic ideas that I wanted to do loads of them, but unfortunately, I mean, they're just, with the current house and how far it was already along, there was a lot of stuff that we couldn't really change. But hey, we got a whole Let's Play series coming up where things are going to change and take shape. So keep those sort of suggestions and feedback coming, because it will definitely come in handy as we're going along. So this here, I had a lot of fun doing this. I wish the attic space was a little bit bigger, but we'll definitely be expanding on that later on. Like I said, when we're renovating, it will get bigger over time. I had a lot of fun with this space. It was kind of cool. It's a nice little, again, kind of like a little pokey space that's just packed with stuff. So I got the little photo studio set. Of course, we're not actually going to use it to take photos. We're using it as a painting set, you know, like we were doing in the Let's Play. Now, someone suggested that we have a toilet with a flower coming out of it in the house. Great idea. So let's do it. Let's chuck it on top of a log. I wanted to get a cacti in there, or cactus rather, in there, because I thought, oh, that'd be a little bit painful. But, you know, it didn't really fit. So I went with a sunflower coming out of the toilet on top of a log. Got some of my favorite industrial steel beams, you know, a little bit of structural integrity to the build there. Yeah, so it's a really fun little painting space. I can't wait to try that out in the Let's Play. But here we are back downstairs working on the other bathroom. Now, having 3 bathrooms in this build currently doesn't really make sense, because, I mean, there are 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, so it would kind of make sense if we were using the other rooms as bedrooms, but we're not. We're using one as a parlor room, and then the other room actually becomes a home gym, because she really enjoys fitness now, because we got her that trait where she has fun working out and she doesn't get stinky working out. So I thought, and also there was a suggestion that we make one of them a sort of a home gym room. So I thought we could do that. A little bit of fun, pretty easy to do. Chuck a few pieces of equipment in there, and boom, she's ready to exercise, ready to get ripped. So that will be fun. Can they actually get ripped? Because I know they can gain weight, but can you actually make them like fully ripped? Can you get like a 6-pack? I don't know if that changes in game. I know obviously you can do it in Creative Sim. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out, or you'll let me know in the comments. Either way. But yeah, so just furnishing the little hallway here. Got a couple of side tables and some chairs. Yeah, so a lot of this furnishing is sort of I guess most of the furnishing in this house is kind of placeholder, because I don't really know what we're going to need in the Let's Play. I don't really know which way we're going to go. So I've just put in items here and there that I think may be useful, and we can definitely just go out and change the rooms. That's going to be I think going to be really fun, seeing how much this house changes. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I also wanted to chuck in that giant TV in the gym, but there really wasn't enough room. Okay, so another suggestion was that we put it on a basement into the build. I did look into it, and I definitely do want to do a basement for sure. But the way the house is currently laid out, there wasn't really any room for stairs going to the basement. And so I think that's definitely something we'll add on later. Also when we have a need for it, because right now there's not a need for any more rooms, as we got to the point where we but essentially have 3 living rooms. We have that one there on the right in front of us with the pink sofas that has the TV. We have the other one that's just chairs and a fireplace. Then we have the one upstairs that's just a parlor. I mean, we have 3 living rooms. We don't really need a basement right now. So we'll add it on as we need it. We'll grow the house as we do. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So we're just doing some landscaping now and putting in a bin because we actually did need one. So that's all good. Yeah, so another popular suggestion, and of course it does reflect... Oh, actually, before I get into that, I wanted to get beautifully sort of trimmed little trees, but they don't exist in the Sims 4. So I was like, maybe I can create one out of a shrub. So I was like, oh, let's get a column and chuck a shrub on it. It didn't look too convincing to me. Anyway, so another popular suggestion was to have a really, really formal garden because a lot of Victorian houses have beautiful gardens. So that's what we went ahead and did. And another great suggestion was to chuck a fountain and get a gnome sitting on top of the fountain, which I thought was a pretty funny idea. So that's what we're doing here. We got the fountain in the middle, lots of flowers surrounding it, little fence as well, getting the gnome straight in there, parting his beard. Looking pretty fancy, getting some nice pathways here and there. I would love to have a ginormous garden. If we get a 50 by 50 plot in the future, I think that's going to look absolutely amazing. It's going to be really, really cool because we can have like a gazebo. We could have the pool, all that kind of stuff. I think it would end up looking really awesome for sure. And of course, we could then have a bigger house as well. So I'm legitimately pretty excited about this. I mean, I didn't want to get too carried away with the size of the house right now because she's a single woman. She doesn't have a partner yet. She doesn't have a family yet. She doesn't really have an agenda yet. We don't know what's going to be happening. And I mean, all we do know is she doesn't need a ginormous house right now. But oh, I'm so excited to see where it goes. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are as excited. I mean, I don't know if it's this. I don't know if it's the same excitement for you. I guess it'd be a different excitement to sort of see the new series. But for me, it's to play the new series and build the new house and expand it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so I built those 2 little symmetrical sort of floral arrangements of just flowers and stuff. I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool. It's what I could do, and that's what I did. Again, I was looking for some small trees to chuck around the place. There's really no small formal trees in The Sims 4. I may revert to making my own trees out of a column and the shrub, because, I mean, while it didn't look 100% convincing, it still looked pretty decent for what it was. Again, we could always revisit that in the future and check it out. So we're getting a similar sort of layout here at the front with the flowers and all that to continue the theme. But we're coming up to the sort of end here now. We'll jump into the screenshots. And we've got a whole bunch of screenshots that will go through the entire build so we can see it in nice detail. So we're going to start around the front. We're going to zip around the outside so you can get all the angles of the outside. And then we'll jump inside as well. So, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the download link is in the description below. So you can check that out. You can also go watch part 1 if you still haven't seen that. You can also check that out down below. And if you haven't seen the Rags to Riches Let's Play series that we're building this house for, you can also check that out on my channel or a link below. If I haven't put the link below, go to my channel. It'll be there for sure. Anyway, so we're going around the outside, looking pretty cool. I'm very happy with this build. I think it just looks interesting, I think, in the end. So there's our little garden. Where's the gnome? The gnome's disappeared. Oh, actually, no. It's because... Okay, so... Sometimes when you upload a house to the gallery and you place it back in, certain things disappear. Now, this is actually a copy of the house. This isn't the one I built in the video because I place this in my build world so I can move in another sim and take photos with that sim. So when I placed it in, that gnome disappeared and I think Sync somewhere disappeared as well. But in the actual build, that stuff is still there. So when we go to play with it, it should still be there. But that also means when you download it from the gallery, that gnome won't be there and a Sync will be missing. I don't know why that happens. Like some things disappear. I mean, it's obviously to do with move objects on or something. But some things just disappear. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the walls do look quite bland. Normally I'd put a lot more decorations on the walls and I make the walls just more colorful in general and a little bit more exciting, but we're going to be absolutely plastering the walls with custom paintings as when our sim moves in here. So I wanted to leave them pretty blank, so a pretty blank canvas so a lady can come in here and do all her beautiful masterpieces, chuck them up all around the house, and I'll tell you what, we are probably going to have a house worth an absolute bomb by the end of the upcoming series. We're going to have paintings everywhere. It's going to be a giant house on a 50x50 plot. It's going to be this giant estate. That's what I really am aiming for here. I think that will sort of be our goal in that series, upcoming series, is to have a ginormous estate, a happy family, a happy, healthy family, a big estate house with a giant garden and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's gonna be really cool. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. Some of these screenshots are a little bit out of order, and I apologize for that, but a little bit late for me to change now. So we're just going through the floor plan screenshots so you can see how everything's laid out. Again, that's out of order. Wow. But thank you so much for watching, guys. The download link is down below as always. But I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.